What's up guys, KRL here, and in today's video we got ourselves one of these. Yes, that's right folks, I got my hands on an Xbox Series X console. We're going to be doing an unboxing today and a first impressions, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the next generation consoles now that I have, well, after this video, unboxed all three of the next generation consoles. So, right off the bat, we have a bigger box in the Series S for obvious reasons. It's also a lot heavier, as you guys just seen by the way my camera shaked. We'll take a look at the sides. On the side, we get a little look at the console itself, the little mini fridge, as I like to call it. And on the back, we have our boy Master Chief. It says, "Power your dreams. The fastest, most powerful Xbox ever. Redefine speed with the Xbox Velocity architecture. Play thousands of games across 4 generations of Xbox." So these consoles can play your Xbox Original, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and your Xbox Series S and X games. And over here we have Game Pass, unlimited access to 100 plus high quality games. Game Pass is definitely your #1 seller for these consoles. Basically, it is a Netflix-like subscription for your Xbox as well as computer if you have Game Pass Ultimate. And while we're speaking of Game Pass, for everybody watching this video today, thank you for all the support on my last unboxing of the Series S. I'm going to be doing another 14-day Game Pass Ultimate free trial giveaway. All I need you guys to do is same thing, comment down below, leave a like on the video, and if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Over on this side we have, looks like the guts, trying to show off the guts. We got 4K gaming at up to 120 FPS if you have a capable display. Up to 8K high dynamic range. 8K is not something to worry about right now. This is more for future proofing, as 8K TVs are not very mainstream in the market. We have the Xbox Velocity architecture, 1 terabyte solid state drive. So this actually has the biggest SSD out of all the next generation consoles. PS5 only has 825 gigabytes, I believe. So the Xbox Series X comes out on top with the most space. However, you do not have that full 1 terabyte to install games with. I think it might end up being in the 800 range, but that's better than the PS5 still. So we also have variable refresh rate, which I do not know too much about, but from my understanding it has something to do with our 4K 120 FPS. We also have our 4K Blu-ray player, as this is the console with the disc drive, unlike the Xbox Series S, which is a strictly digital console. So now that we've taken a look at the box, you guys all know what is next. Let's open this thing up. It looks like we have our tabs on the side here. I'm just gonna cut these open. There it is, folks. Yet again, I am missing another tab. I don't know why I am having troubles with these Xbox consoles. Flip it over to its front side, and I believe that it is just gonna open up like that. And there she is, guys. So first thing, the presentation with this box is something else. I've opened the PS5, as you guys have seen. Nothing fancy. Xbox Series S, a little more fancy, but it's also the cheaper console, so they can't do too much. This guy right here, this looks good. This looks really good. Before I get to the console, I think I'm going to take a look at this right here, which I believe is going to have our controller, cables, and manuals. So, right here we have our new Xbox Core Series controller, I believe they are going to call them. And the Xbox Series X comes with the black one. For those who are curious about the controller itself, I do have another video where I make a comparison with the DualSense controller, but I can give you a quick impressions, and that is, now that I've had some time to actually use this controller, the bumpers are definitely the one thing that stands out the most to me. I just love the way the bumpers feel on this thing. Triggers, they still feel good. I like to show this off. As you guys can see, they have a new texture here on the trigger and the bumper, and it just adds a nicer feel to it. The sticks have always felt good in my opinion. Buttons, what can you really say? They feel good. They feel like good buttons. And also the D-pad, which for some people has been a hit and miss thing. Mixed opinions for sure. But I love this thing. I just feels so clicky and it just feels so good. But I haven't used the D-pad too much in any games. We also have our brand new share button, which I've only tried it once. I think when you press this, it just creates a game clip for you. So you don't have to press the guide button and X anymore. We have our USB-C connection, and we also have removable batteries, which means if you want rechargeable batteries, you will have to go buy the rechargeable battery pack. But that is up for you to decide, because you could always get rechargeable batteries as well. Now we got our HDMI 2.1 cable. This cable specifically is going to be able to output your 4K at 120 Hz. If you have a capable TV, there are not very much TVs on the market right now that can do that. But if you are fortunate enough to have that, you will be able to witness the glorious 4K at 120 Hz. I can't seem to get a good focus. We have our power cable, which is nice that there is no more big power bricks for these consoles. All three of them has used this very nice sleek power cable. And it looks like that's about it. We have our product and regulatory guide, limited warranty and agreement, yada yada yada. So let's put that stuff to the side and let's get to what we really want to see. So I'm going to take this out. Can we just take another second to appreciate the presentation of this thing? Like, this is a very, very good presentation, Microsoft. I am here for it. We're going to take that out. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to put that to the side. So this thing, oof. Alright, so this thing definitely has some weight to it. Like, it's a lot smaller than the PS5, and I will bring the other consoles out to do a comparison, but it's pretty heavy still. Maybe it's just because my mind's playing tricks on me. I think it's a smaller console, it's going to be lighter, but no, it has definitely got some weight to it still. We have Power Your Dreams, a little tab. Let's take that off. Nice. Sit that guy up. And let's start to open this up. Oh, okay. So, first thing I noticed, the green on the inside. Looks cool. Right here, if you're wondering, is actually our big fan we have here. It's going to try and circulate air up because heat rises. And on the back, oh, that's heavy console, man. That actually has got some weight to it, guys. I want to focus. We have our HDMI out, our storage expansion slot, where if you guys are not informed yet, these new Xbox Series X and Series S consoles have the ability to expand your SSD storage using the only official product right now is the Seagate proprietary storage device. And basically what it is an SSD that looks very reminiscent of a memory card. Pop it in, and I believe they sell it in the 1 terabyte right now. So that's a whole extra terabyte you can have of storage. Now, the reason why I really wanted the Series X over the Series S, and I'll talk about this later as well. The Series S had 512 gigabytes SD storage, and that doesn't include the system storage it needs for the operating system, it ended up being in the 300s. I used that up very quickly on my Series S. So what am I left with? I either go spend $300 on a 1 terabyte hard drive, or I spend $300 more and get the better console. So it's a bit of a no-brainer in my opinion that if you're going to be installing lots of games, especially next-gen games, you're going to want that extra storage. We also have our Ethernet port and 2 USB 3.0 slots, and that looks about it. I'm not too sure what this guy is. We have our mount on the bottom, built in unlike the PS5. And here's the front of the console. We have our disk drive and our connect button for our wireless controllers, and ooh, that feels good, our power button. Now this console can either be put up vertically, which is what I will be doing, or you could also lay it down horizontally like so. So I adjusted my camera a little bit to try and give you guys a better view, but right here I have my Xbox Series S console that I'm going to put beside the Series X, and you guys can see right away how much more thinner and smaller the Series S console is compared to the Series X. And if you guys have watched my unboxing, I have mentioned just how impressed I am with how small they were able to get this Xbox. However, this is not the star of the show. The Series X outshines the Series S in so many ways. You have your full 4K 120 Hz capabilities, your extra storage slot, physical disk drive for your physical games. It's just, in my opinion, the better buy. However, as I've mentioned in the Series S unboxing, I would recommend the Series S console to anyone who's on more of a budget or really doesn't care about all the bells and whistles like ray tracing and the 120 FPS or even the 4K, because you won't find those kind of things on the Series S. That is definitely more for the Series X to do. Now, if you guys also want to see, I have my PS5 here, and I can't even fit this all on the camera. The Series X definitely is smaller than the PS5, but thicker. We all know the PS5 is a huge machine too, though. But they're both, in my opinion, pretty big consoles compared to what we are used to. So I'm not going to give you guys any footage of the UI because I've already gone through it with the Xbox Series S. They are the same thing. There's not much to see there that is brand new, especially if you also own an Xbox One. But I'm very excited to do some benchmarking with this thing simply because of the backwards compatibility. Now, if you aren't aware, Microsoft's big selling point right now, without having many launch games, is the capabilities of backwards compatibility. On the Series S, I was very disappointed to find out that my Xbox One games were running on the Xbox One S versions of the game and not the One X. And I understand, it is the cheaper console, but it does have that better processor. I'm not too sure about the specifics of the GPU, but the CPU is definitely, they're equivalent. These two guys have the same CPU. This guy has more GPU power. I think this is like 10 teraflops, 4 teraflops. But I was just a little disappointed to find out that I was running the base Xbox One versions of these games, which was a big reason why I wanted to go for this as well. Because the Xbox One X was a 4K capable console. However, it did have its limitations. In games, they used this thing called dynamic resolution to take that 4K image and bring it down so it's able to keep that smooth, consistent frame rate. However, that still meant that the resolution was supposed to be 4K and was unlocked. With the Xbox Series X, it uses its extra GPU capabilities to give you that true 4K experience. And I'm so excited to see how good some of my old Xbox One games look. Another thing to keep in mind is for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X backwards compatibility, the Xbox Series X is apparently able to be easily patched to enable 120 frames on games. We already see this in games like Rocket League and Warzone. However, on the PS5, even though they are both very strong consoles, the PS5 is not able to put out that 120 frames simply because of their backwards compatibility. I have read that in order for developers to take advantage of the full capabilities of the PS5, they have to make a native PS5 game version of their game. Xbox Series X supposedly is just a simple patch. So, if you guys are into games like Rocket League and Warzone, this should definitely be something to look at because you are going to get that 120 frames right now at launch. That isn't to say that very soon Warzone will be a PS5 app and Rocket League will be a PS5 app, but as of right now, in the first few weeks of launch, this is your way to go if you want that 120 frames. I'm not too sure about the specifics of the Xbox 360 and the Xbox backwards compatibility, but I would imagine that they're going to be 4K as well. So you know that your old games are going to look the best they ever have on an official Xbox console. The one thing I would also say, if you do not have a 4K capable display, maybe you should consider the Series S. The Series X is all about having it on a 4K display, which is another reason why I wanted to get rid of my Series S, because it was only outputting at 1080p in games. Meanwhile, I have a nice 4K TV sitting downstairs, and I just wasn't using it to the full capabilities. So this is it, guys. This is Next Gen Gaming. Thank you to everybody who watched all my unboxing videos, and thank you so much for the support. And once again, I'll remind you guys, all you need to do is leave a comment and like on this video for your chance to be entered in a competition to win a 14-day Game Pass Ultimate free trial code. Thank you once again. I'm gonna go test this thing out. Once I got more impressions with it, maybe I'll make another video to show you guys just how good this backwards compatibility is. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, and I got some gaming to do.